What is up, everybody? I'm George Mossey. I'm here with my co-host Heather C. So unexpected, we're on season 5. This is episode 11. Has aired. First things first. There were 2 couples missing from this episode, Lily and Lawrence. So no news is good news. I'm hoping everything is good with you guys. And also Emerson and Mason. Hopefully things are going well with them. We're going to check it back in with them next week, see how they're doing and how things are panning out with Emerson in her new home. Let's talk about somebody who did pop back up on this episode. It's Alex, right? So we've been super deep in the season and we've seen him once throughout the whole season. He pops back up. Tyra tells us that they are back together. Okay, so I don't want to say this wrong. They're living together, co-parenting together, sleeping in the same bed, but it's not a full-on relationship. She's not ready to forgive him and let him back into her good graces yet, which I actually agree, because I feel like what he did and how he betrayed her, and if this girl really is pregnant, this is a big deal. It shouldn't be taken lightly. So I'm seeing that he is doing a lot of work to build that trust. He informed us that he's basically a maid. You know, he is cleaning, he is taking care of Layla, and he is doing everything that he can to prove to Tyra that he is actually sorry for what he did and he's back in this relationship 100%. Do you think she should take him back? Do you think that they're meant to be? Like, where do you stand on this?
I like them together. I think that they should just take it slow. Hopefully it won't be just used as like a beneficial relationship. They are co-parenting and they obviously have really good strong chemistry. I think that he expressed that he knows what he did was wrong. Unfortunately, too little too late, the mistake got you a whole baby on the way. So, I mean, I don't want to say the baby, is a mistake. It's a human being, but obviously the relationship wasn't built to last. So, but I'm not against her wanting to be back with him. I just think that just to protect herself and her heart and her daughter and, everything, just take things slow. Just see where they go, see where things lead them. So I think if they do that, then they could see if they really belong together or not.
I feel like living together and them not fighting and being able to coexist is kind of like the step one. I
Yeah.
feel like they've already completed step one, because usually in these type of situations where one person cheated or left the person and kind of started something new with someone else, it's even difficult to even be around each other. So I feel like they've already completed the first step. So if Alex keeps doing what he's doing, I hope to see them back together in the future. I feel like they are good together, and everybody makes mistakes. We can't really hold people accountable at this age, for making mistakes. And again, this child is not a mistake, but the relationship and that didn't work out. So hopefully he will be in that child's life and he'll be a good father to that child, just like he is to Layla. And hopefully things work out with him and Tyra as well. So let's talk about Taylor. So Taylor pops back up in the episode. We've been missing Taylor for quite a while. She's 38 weeks pregnant. Any day now, she's looking to see when she's going to be induced. And she's meeting with Tyra to squash the baby nursery drama, right? So she wants everybody to get back together and be close. And the sisters haven't been really talking and hanging out as much as they used to be because of this drama. And she's ready to end it. But what they worry about is this Tiara going to feel the same way, because Taylor said that she apologized to Tiara publicly and privately, and Tiara doesn't feel like it was sincere. So with them being so close and with them being sisters, sometimes you want a sincere apology from someone because their judgment and how they feel means a lot to you. So what do you think is going to happen? Do you think that they're going to be able to squash this and move on? Because we've seen Tiara say on this episode that I'm not really looking to be close with her like I used to be anymore, and that would be terrible, right?
I think that a lot of emotions were high, I mean, a lot of hormones and everything built up. So I think like time will heal. So I don't think it's so much just the nursery. I think that was the icing on the cake. So maybe they just need some time apart to figure out stuff, and then they can come back and rebuild and regroup. If you're not ready to forgive and forget and let be, you shouldn't do a meetup because your emotions will run high and you might end up making things worse than if you would just leave it alone. So if she doesn't feel like she's ready to forgive Taylor, then maybe it's for the best that they stay separated until she calms down. But personally, I think that if it is solely about the nursery situation, I think that in that case, they would both be in the wrong, because Taylor said that Tara stole her idea, but then Taylor went online and kind of like blew it out of proportion and said all this stuff about her. So I don't know. I think, my personal opinion, they need to just let things cool off and let it be, have their babies, enjoy their time, and then something will bring them together.
I feel like it'll be the kids. The kids, their children are so close. You know, they're always asking about each other. And you know what they say? If you want to squash some beef, the children will bring you together. Speaking of children bringing people together, let's kind of shift gears and talk about the family vacation for Jenna and Aiden and Kathy and Matt and Heather. Yes, all of those names. And Luca. Luca's there too. So this is the first family vacation with the entire family, the extended family. Everyone is there. And Jenna was nervous going into this because she knows her parents have never been able to be in the same place at the same time and remain calm and be nice, you know? Right. So that was something that she was worried about. But when Heather, her mom Heather, arrived, everything was not bad. Everything was fine. It was very calm. Everyone was sitting in the living room, visiting, talking. They were cooking food and eating with each other. The only person who made it awkward was Aiden. Aiden was the one who made everything awkward. He felt like it wasn't important. This wasn't the trip that he would have planned. He didn't see it as a vacation, and he kind of didn't want to be a part of the festivities. And this is kind of a recurring theme for Aiden. Like, Aiden is usually in, I would use Jenna's words, a pissy mood. You know, like he's just usually in a really, I don't want to be bothered mood. And that could just be his personality. Some people are like that. But at this point, Jenna just feels like she's putting in so much effort and it's not being matched. Her effort isn't being matched by Aiden.
I definitely think that this relationship ship has sailed. You know what I mean? I think that they might be towards the end of the dock. I kind of see where Aiden is coming from. A lot of it is selfish moves, though, because he probably looks at it like, I get up, I go to work every day. You know, you're a stay-at-home mom. These are your parents. This is your family, even though it's their family because they decided to have a kid together. He's young, so he looks at it like, if I was going to go on a vacation, I would go here and we would do this, that, and the other. Going to be with the in-laws isn't a vacation, but he needs to look at it and say, wow, this is beneficial because this is for my son. My son needs to see his family, his grandparents get along, coexist. And it actually is it's a beautiful thing to do, but he's really young and he doesn't look at things that way. I think that since they've had Luca, I think that they've been on different pages. He was never like really personable when we saw him, like when we first met him, but he didn't seem so distant from Jenna like he does now. He just seems like everything she does annoys him. Like she could breathe and he's annoyed. So, I mean, I don't want to say for them to break up because I'm never for that. I always like to see people work and make things work, but don't do it just because. Do it because you love each other, because your child consents when stuff is not healthy. So maybe they need to just take a little bit of time apart and see if it's meant to be. And if it is, then get back together, because I don't know. I just think that she deserves to be happy. And if she's not feeling happy and secure in her relationship, she needs to do what's best for her and her son, even if that means letting him go.
Well, we know Aiden's a good dad, so even if they weren't together, he's still going to be there. But yeah, like you said, she deserves to have her son deserves to have a good dad, and she deserves to have a good spouse. So that's where we're at. She needs to have that equal love and relationship that her son is getting. So hopefully they can figure it out. And like you said, sometimes trial separation can work. You don't know what you have and how good it is until it's not there anymore. So maybe if she takes Luca and she leaves and Aiden sees what his life could be like without having them right there at his fingertips, he will change and he will be more accepting of her and her feelings, because that's really what's going on here. He's not accepting of her feelings. He kind of just dismisses any feelings that she has in general, and that's not good.
I think that women per se are sold on this fantasy since we were, little girls. You see Disney and everybody ends up happy, and you have the fairy tale ending and the prince at the end. So, everybody thinks that everything is supposed to be like fireworks and magic all the time. And it's like, I think, like, from Aiden's point of view, he's like, I'm doing everything right. I come home every night. I'm not cheating on you. I'm paying the bills. You have a roof over your head.
Right?
I'm here. Like, he might not like mentally be there for her, but he looks at it like, I'm physically here. If you, say, hey, Aiden, I'll come see what you want. So I think that that's another thing. Not saying that Jenna, is oblivious and wants to live this Disney life, but I think that that's where a lot of relationships go wrong. The pages, they're not on the same one, because one person thinks that, no, I was lied to. You're supposed to spend every weekend second with me, and you're supposed to be in love with me, and you're supposed to bring me home flowers and give me a kiss goodnight. And the men are like, I'm here, and I could be out with my friends playing basketball or at a game, and I come home every night to you, so I don't know what you're complaining about. So a lot of that causes tension too. So I think it's also a maturity level, but you know what? I'm rooting for them, and I hope that, they can put their differences aside, and ultimately, whatever they decide, both be happy.
I agree. I want the same for them both. All right, guys, that's it for part 1. We're going to come back part 2 and talk about Kylan and Jason and the birth of Xavier and all
So
of the
cute.
drama that came along with it. And it's a cute baby, obviously. Thank you so much for joining me. I'm George Mossey. This is my co-host, Heather C. Make sure you live tweet with us every Sunday night. This is the Unexpected Podcast, Season 5, Episode 11. We'll talk to you all really soon.
Bye.